Cheers! Welcome to Movie Bitches! Episode 49. So, tonight we are reviewing Pitch Perfect 2.
Who run the world? Girls, we run this.
The way that I said it tells you how we felt about it. So, I mean, I kind of knew going into this.
Yeah.
So I saw a teaser and I was like, oh, fun. I really liked the first. I mean, I liked the first one. I thought that there were some problems, but I thought it was fun and cute and silly.
It's not as good, but it was sort of the bring it on of this
decade.
It was just like, it was fun. You know, it was having a good time.
And then I saw the trailer for this one.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, good Lord, that looks like a hot, holy mess. It's basically the Hangover 2 of a cappella movies.
Of Pitch Perfect. They made the same movie. My biggest problem was, okay, so the whole catalyst for the movie, the whole plot, is that the Bellas are performing at the Kennedy Center for the president. On what planet? He has a cameo that's clearly just like newsreel footage from when he happened to be at the Kennedy Center for like the Kennedy Center honors or whatever the fuck. So Fat Amy, self-proclaimed Fat Amy, is like in a...
Which I also, like...
It's upsetting.
But whatever.
I find it upsetting. Is in like a silk, you know, she's like
a Cirque du Soleil,
dance, and it splits, and then her pants split, and then, oh, she's fat, and everyone's like, you're fat, and you're ugly, and I can't believe I saw your vagina because you're fat, and you're like...
I thought it was more about the vagina.
But it was also like your big flabby vagina, they said.
Did they really? I didn't...
They said your big flabby baby shoot.
More of Flabby Abby's baby shoot.
She has no underwear on. She's turning!
What was clearly an accident.
Yeah, that was the thing. So she clearly, like, accidentally split her pants. It was not intentional. And yet everyone was, like, slut-shaming her. Everyone's like, well, she wasn't wearing underwear on purpose and all this stuff, and you're out of here. And it was like, oh, this is, like, women-shaming.
The dean is ready for you tramps.
So the whole reason they can't compete and all this stuff and the whole strife of the movie is like this shaming women theme, and I was like, this is so fucked up for a movie that's like about girls for girls. I'm upset.
Well, and here's my thing that I've realized that is a serious problem. Like, quite honestly, a serious problem with this movie is that it's written by a man, and I would say a good chunk of the jokes are old man sexist jokes.
What an inspiration to girls all over the country who are too ugly to be cheerleaders.
So they all can't compete. And he goes, it's cool. You're all women. You'll be pregnant soon anyway, so you'll be fine. What? Like,
and my thing is just like
so...
Even in the context that it's like he's supposed to be like a misogynistic asshole.
Right.
That's not funny, and it's not a joke that needs to be made in 2015.
That's the thing.
So go fuck yourself, movie.
It wasn't funny.
I'm sorry. I don't have time for that.
And not even just for women. Everything's a stereotype in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
The Germans are stereotypical Germans.
Yes,
was
but
fine.
If that's like the only thing, then that's one thing.
The Colombian girl who's in their group is always talking about getting kidnapped. The black
Which is also not a joke.
No, super not a joke. She's like, when I got kidnapped as a young girl, and you're like, no, this is not okay.
When I was sold into sex slavery.
Yeah, you're like, huh? And like the black woman with the short hair, of course, is a lesbian, and she's just gonna talk about how she's gonna like grope women against their will all the time because that's what lesbians do. And it was like, ooh, really?
I mean, April, there were gonna be girls in their bathing suits.
What? Well, then can we talk about when David Cross shows up as like a master of ceremonies for a underground a cappella?
But dressed as like a geisha and like a gay.
So he's like yeah. So he's like has a like stereotypical gay lisp, right? And he's like, oh, you guys are so fabulous, and he sounds like Snagglepuss. But then it like comes in and out.
Yep.
And he's like, now I'm just David Cross, and then he'll be like, that was delightful. And you're like, what's going on? Like, come on, David Cross. Like he's like he couldn't do a decibel above with the accent.
Yep,
he couldn't shout loudly with the lisp.
Nope.
But then when he was just talking normally, he'd be like, oh, you stop.
Let's take a look, see what your final category is.
I mean, it was just like, I felt like I was trudging through this movie.
It was in every sense of the word, like a bad sequel.
We're going to put every celebrity in it, we're going to have every song, and we're going to have all of this money, and we're going to make it a fucking hit because the first one was a hit and we want to sell more movies, money. Just because you sing Who Run the World Girls
No.
at the end
No.
does not mean
You didn't
that you
earn
are
it.
a feminist movie or that you are holding up women's rights. Because you are not, and this movie was sexist and it's bullshit.
So sexy. Well, and then so there's a whole scene where they're like doing a sexy pillow fight, right? And I'm like, who is this for? Who is going to this movie because they want to see a sexy pillow fight? And then
They reference it!
she comes in and goes, "You guys are sending women back 30 years." Yeah.
You are! Movie? It was like, the movie, like, they understood that they were being sexist,
Right.
but still did it
But
anyway.
didn't make a twist on it, which
Yeah.
is extra weird because at the end, when the credits roll, it's like directed by Elizabeth Banks, and I was like, what?
But written by a man.
I mean, as far as I know, Elizabeth Banks hasn't directed anything else, or if she has, I don't know about it. But I was like, come on.
Hey Siri, what movies has Elizabeth Banks directed? Oh.
Showing off
Oh.
your Apple Watch.
Yep. Are you ready for this?
Is it Happy Feet 2?
Nope. It's movie 43.
She directed one of the segments.
Movie 43 and Pitch Perfect 2.
If you were wondering if, like,
My God.
maybe Snoop Dogg had a part in this movie, he does. But it wasn't even, they didn't even take it there, like, him making fun of himself, because, like, Snoop Dogg wants to do a Christmas album. That's funny. It wasn't funny in the movie. Like, the idea of that is funny.
Yep.
And then it's like, ooh, he's just doing a Christmas album.
It also,
Bad.
yeah,
It's not
exactly.
good.
It wasn't even
Guys,
like, it wasn't even
spoiler
like
alert,
Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg's Christmas album is not very good.
Walking in a winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman.
I mean, it wasn't nearly as bad as, but it was kind of like A Million Ways to Die in the West.
It definitely had a Seth MacFarlane, like, lazy racism.
Yeah, like, oh, we're gonna make, like an Indian joke, or a
same thing-
Korean joke, or a lady boy joke, just because that's
I
obvious.
mean, literally, a line in the movie is Elizabeth Banks goes, "Oh, we'll just talk whenever the Koreans are on because no one cares about the Koreans." Why is that a joke? Maybe it's an inside acapella joke that I don't understand.
It's not.
Maybe Koreans are terrible at acapella.
It's not.
I don't know.
Weird.
I didn't like this movie. I found it rather offensive, pretty upsetting, and boring. And the music was not worth it.
I would give it a 5.
Wow.
That bad. I did not like it.
No.
And I wouldn't recommend it to anyone, and I would not watch it again.
No, I
Even if you paid me $500, I don't. Well, no, $500 I would sit through it.
Totally
But
sit through it.
yeah.